Hello dear students, ready to move on to part 3 of indices or exponents? Are you very sure that you've got your notebook and pencil or pen ready to practice alongside as we watch this video? If you haven't, please make sure that you grab one. Because in this lesson we are doing the final sets of laws of indices. We've got laws 6, 7 and 8 which you are going to help me decipher. The first one we've got over here 1 to the power of any number. Seventh one would be any number to the power of 1. And lastly we've got the root form. So let's get going. It's very easy to memorize, but it's much better to understand. So what we've got over here, 1 to any power. So if I say 1 square, that means what do I do? Multiply 1 by itself 2 times. What do I get? Very good one. If I say 1 to the power of 3, what do I do? 1 into 1 into 1. So what is it? Oh, it's again 1. Oh, it should make a difference when you've got a negative power, right? So let's give it a try. 1 to the power of minus 3. Now apply the negative power rule. So this power becomes positive. 1 divided by, now 1 to the power of 3. 1 into 1 into 1. Oh, look at that. It's again 1. So what do you think would be 1 to the power of minus 100? What will it be? Yes, it's again 1. So what will be the rule here? 1 to the power of any number would always be, very good, go ahead. Yes, it will always be 1. So in the chart that we made earlier, would you like to update this one? So 1 to the power of any number is 1, and that's our law number 6. Don't worry if in your textbooks the laws are given in a different order. As long as you know the concepts, it's good enough. Let's do the reverse situation. Any number to the power of 1, that means you are multiplying that number by itself only once. So you're not writing 2 2 times, you're just writing 2 1 time. 10 to the power of 1, 10. 1000 to the power of 1, 1000, right? So the generalization, any number to the power of 1 would always be, very good, it's the same number. So would you like to again update the chart that we made? So here we have a to the power of 1 will be a. Good to go. Let's go on to law number 8. Now this law number 8, sometimes it sounds very tricky. So let's approach it in a very slightly easy way. We have this number integer 32. Express this number in exponential form. So how do you express a number in exponential form? Yes, you start factorizing it. So 32 factors, 2 1, 2 6, 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4, right? So 32 is 2 to the power of 5, right? Okay, same way, try writing 16 in exponential form. Write it yourself. Try it now. Yes, very good. 2 to the power of, see, 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8, 8 times 2 is 16. So this becomes 2 to the power of 4. Let's suppose I ask you to find out the square root of 16. So what will you do over here? Yes, simple. You will take the square root of 2 to the power 4 over here. What do you mean by taking square root? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? So you take out sets of 2. So what do we get over here? 2 in times 2 gives you 4. Right? Now what did we do over here? We divided, so we had square root of 2 to the power of 4. So if we don't write a number over here, it's automatically understood that we are talking about square root. So what did we do? We divided this 4 by the root value over here, right? The nth root. So I get over here 2 square. Let's try one more question. Give me the exponential, okay, give me the integral value of 3 to the power 8. Calculate. Did you get it as this? 6561? Yes, you have to multiply 3 by itself 8 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and you get 6561. Next step, I ask you to find out the square root of 6561. Oh my God, look at that. It looks very challenging, right? This is the question. But you see, 6561 is the same as 3 to the power of 8. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And I have to find out the square root of this. So we again make groups of 2. That means 2 3's together. So I get a 3, a 3, a 3 and a 3. And what do you get as the answer? 3 times 3, 9, 27 and 81. Look at that. It becomes so easy when you write the number in exponential form in order to find out its nth root. For example, here we have written it as the square root. Again, if you notice, what did we do? We had 3 to the power 8 and we just took half of it, right? We halved the power because we are to find square root. Let's go on to one more challenge. Let's suppose I am giving you 3 to the power 8 and I am asking you to find out the fourth root. So fourth root means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Fourth root. So that means we will now make sets of 4. So we have this as one set and gives us a 3, and we have this as another set and gives us another 3. Multiply the two of them and you get 9. Easy peasy lemon squeezies, right? So 3 to the power 8, what did we do? We took 1/4 of the power and we got it as multiplying the 2. 4 times 2 is 8 and we get the answer as 9. So would you like to help me state the law over here? So if I have any number to the power of x and its nth root is what we have to determine, then what do? We take the power as 1 by n. So this becomes a to the power x to the power of 1 by n. So let's suppose if I have 2 to the power of 8 and I have to find out its 8th root. How will you simplify? Very good. 2 to the power 8 remains like this, and 8th power means it becomes 1 by 8. Now we know that power upon power, we multiply the powers, so 1 by 8 becomes 1. In other words, we will have the answer to this question as 2 to the power of 1. The answer will not be 1. It's the power which will be 1. And so our final answer to the question would be 2. Right? And we just now learned any number to the power of 1 will always be that number. So here we have a complete list of the formulas that you have learned in this 3-part series of videos on indices or exponents. Now the best thing for you to do would be find out an old calendar or a blank sheet in your house. Grab some color pencils or sketch pens. Write these formulas on that chart paper or an old calendar which has got a blank sheet on it. Just write these formulas in different colors and go through them one full day. So while you're having your breakfast, lunch and dinner, that time just go through these formulas, and that's it, what you need in order to be able to attempt the questions on this particular topic. In fact, you can apply this same trick for any chapter, be it science, maths or any other subject, right? And you will see that you are much more relaxed with your studies compared to when you try to grasp all of it in one go. Okay, here's the challenge question. You've got square root of 9 into cube root of 27 divided by the cube root of 5 to the power of minus 3. Ooh, look at that. It's a very challenging question, isn't it? But I know if you've understood the laws that we have done and you have been practicing the questions alongside, by the time I finish speaking this sentence, you will have the answer ready for me. Go ahead, attempt it, pause the video, try it yourself. So what did we have over here? 9 is 3 square. 27 is 3 cube. So we have got to take the cube root of this. Do not get mixed up in this 3 and the cube root 3. And this is already in simplified form. So 3 square square root. So we will have to the power of half. 3 cube cube root. So this becomes 1 to the power of 3. Cube root of 5 to the power minus 3. So this is the last law that we had learned. Now we are applying the law where we are going to multiply the power. So if here we'll get 3, here we'll get 3, and here we will have 5 to the power minus 1. And what did we learn? When it's a negative power, what do? The numerator becomes denominator, denominator becomes the numerator. So what will be the final answer? Go ahead, post your replies in the comments and let us see that we have finally succeeded in making this topic so easy to understand and bring a smile to your face. Stay connected, say subscribe to the channel. See you soon.